At this time, I'd like to introduce Sam Couture. Sam's a Vietnam-era veteran who served the U.S. Marines from 1971 to 1974. He's a recipient of the National Defense Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Rifle Marksman Badge. Following his military service, Sam worked with the PA State Police. Following retirement, he became very active in many veterans organizations and causes. He is also active with our Veterans Court program as a mentor. Thank you for your service, Sam. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Can you please help me with the pledge allegiance? All veterans may hand salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to remain for a moment of silence. A moment of silence for World War II Army Private First Class Willard Bud Jenkins, who's coming home to his family after 74 years later after being killed in action. He was buried as an unknown. Please keep his family in our thoughts and prayers. He's a true American hero. Also, I'd like to have a moment of silence. We have numerous law enforcement agents that lost their lives. Police Officer Kurt Ricks III, Montgomery Police Department, Louisiana, was killed in a vehicle crash at Highway 71 at approximately 5:30 p.m. on September 7, 2018. Deputy Sheriff Aaron Paul Roberts, Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Missouri. Mr. Roberts drowned after his patrol car was swept into a swollen river while on patrol on September 7, 2018. Police Officer David A. Tinsley, Fort Wayne Police Department, Indiana. Police Officer Tinsley suffered a fatal heart attack while searching the suspect following a vehicle in a foot pursuit of a stolen car. He was chasing another subject when he had a massive heart attack. End of shift was September 10, 2018. Police Officer Oscar Reyes of the Costa Mesa Police Department, California. Reyes suffered a fatal heart attack participating in an Orange Traffic Officers Association motor rodeo on behalf of his department. Deputy Sheriff Robert K. Coons III, Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department Office, Kansas. Deputy Sheriff Coons was shot and killed while investigating a suspicious person. Deputy Sheriff Mark Stusek of Sacramento County Sheriff's Department, California. Deputy Sheriff Mark Stusek was shot and killed at approximately 1:50 p.m. and he and another deputy responded to a disturbance call at an auto parts store. Chief of Police Frank McCullen, Jr., Little Police Department, Georgia. The chief was struck and killed by a vehicle being pursued by other officers. Police Officer Garrett Hall, Fort Worth Police Department, Texas, succumbed to a gunshot wound sustained the previous night. He was a member of the Criminal Investigation Unit attempting to apprehend 3 armed suspects. Please keep our law enforcement heroes and their families and friends in our thoughts and prayers through this trying time. Thank you, everyone. That was all from actually between the last meeting and this meeting. So a lot of good law enforcement individuals lost their lives. I'd like to thank Sam Couture for being here today. Thanks for your service. This time I'd like to ask Judge Munley and our director David Isley from Veterans Affairs to talk about the lapel pin ceremony, which will be held this Sunday, September 23rd, 11 a.m. at the Washington Avenue site of the courthouse. Judge, talk about what this lapel pin means to the veterans of Vietnam.
Well, David's going to give specifics, but I just want to say this, that it's been a long time coming, and I have to say thank you so much, Commissioner O'Malley and Dave, for planning this thing for us. For a veteran to get this pin, finally they're being recognized for their service to their country. It's from the Vietnam era, from 55 to 75. But here's how important it is to me. I'll just, me personally, I had a major trip planned for months to New York City on Sunday. I canceled it immediately as soon as I found out that Sunday was the day that these pins are going to be given out to these vets. I hope we get hundreds and hundreds of vets, because Lackawanna County is very popular in this. I check out all the counties and how many veterans serve in each county. Lackawanna County is very high. A lot of Vietnam vets, a lot of Vietnam era vets. So I'm hoping that we get hundreds of vets so we can look at them straight in their eyes and say, you deserve this pin. And by the way, tonight on the show I do, Veterans Years, Dave Isley and Patrick O'Malley appear on the show tonight to talk about this event Sunday. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Judge.
And I want to thank you, Commissioner Cummings, you, Commissioner Terriani, also.
Thanks,
Yeah, it is very, very important. As you said at the start of the meeting, PFC Jenks, he wasn't a Vietnam veteran, but he was a World War II veteran, and tomorrow night he's finally going to be back on U.S. soil. DOD threw us for a loop, so he'll be back in the Scranton area about 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, the viewing audience, Cemetery, I mean, the movie A Bridge Too Far is actually where he got killed, trying to cross that river.
Yep, the Wall River.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's amazing, and it's very historical that, you know, I mean, with DNA today, that we can actually bring everybody home eventually. I mean, that we find or comes
Yep. And September 21st is the National Recognition Day for our POW and MIA. As of today, 1,594 Vietnam veterans are still unaccounted for. So by doing the ceremony and giving the guys the pin for coming home, it does mean a lot. So November of 55 to May of 75, any active duty service member that served in that time frame can get that award.
That's Sunday, September 23rd, 11 a.m., Lackawanna County Courthouse, Washington Avenue, Center Courthouse. Brief ceremony and then presentation.
Yep. Thank you, Commissioner.
Dave, what is the September 21st date?
It's the national recognition of all of our POW and missing in action veterans. The flag will be up on the 21st.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Frank Camones from the Visitor Center. He just wanted to come in and show us the Fall Visitors Guide and go over what's going on in Lackawanna County.
George.
And accompanying me is the amazingly talented Rebecca Smith from our office, who works very diligently on these guides. The fall guide came out. It takes effect September 1st. It'll cover September, October, and November. You can see a lot of the wonderful activities and attractions that we're highlighting for the fall season. Roba's Family Farm is on our cover. They have a 2-page featurette inside, but we're also covering a lot of different attractions and all of our partners, so all of the restaurants and hotels and different things you can do in Lackawanna County during those months. We highlight a perfect itinerary, as we call it, so somebody can look at it and come spend the weekend. As we talked about when we showcased the summer guide, we know that if we can convert a day stay to a weekend stay, the economic impact that it has for the community. So we try to do everything we can to try to highlight turning. You might be coming, say, to Roba's, but stay the night and enjoy one of our Broadway shows, or we have a world-renowned artist coming to the Everhart Museum later this month. Those things that maybe people don't know we're going to showcase, and at the same time try to build the Bureau's relevancy so that when people are having events in Lackawanna County or they're coming to Lackawanna County, we're the place they go to find out what's going on.
Come and see the fall foliage, go out to dinner.
Absolutely. We have
Stay the night.
a fall foliage spread right in the back specific to the fall guide. And then we're working really hard right now on not only the winter guide, but the annual guide that'll be out in January. And then also working with all of our partners and attractions to do what we can to raise the bar on tourism in Lackawanna County.
I just wanted everyone to take a look to see this. It's a great guide. It's out for the public to see it. The Visitor Center did a great job. Congratulations on a lot of great work.
Thanks very much.
Is Joanne Benucci here? Okay, Joanne is from St. Joe's. And Kurt, I want you to hang on for a second too.
Absolutely.
Bill King, the director of the Steamtown Marathon, wasn't able to make it today. Joanne, talk about St. Joe's, what the impact is of the Steamtown Marathon on St. Joe's. And
well, good morning, first of all, and thank you so very much for this opportunity. The Steamtown Marathon benefits the children and clients and residents of St. Joseph's Center. We thank you so much to all the organizers, runners, volunteers, and sponsors over the years. The generosity has been such a blessing to all of us at St. Joe's. Since the marathon began in 1996, they have donated just over $1.7 million to St. Joseph's Center. This ongoing commitment is a blessing because it impacts the lives of hundreds of individuals, helping some of God's most special people with safe and lovely homes and opportunities they deserve as they reach for their God-given potential. We look forward every year to cheering on the runners on Electric Street and Wyoming Avenue. It's heartwarming to see how many runners give the residents a wave or a high five or stop to greet each one individually. I brought a copy of the St. Joe's annual report so you can see the actual wonderful interaction that they have with the runners. We made the cover of our calendar this year.
And that's at like the toughest part of the race. That's like mile 23 and a half, 24 right there. So it really is. It's inspirational when the kids are out there and that.
We love it. We absolutely love it. St. Joe's was founded in 1888, so this year we're celebrating 130 years of serving the community. Our newest program I just want to mention is Trinity Child Care Center, which is a prescribed pediatric extended care center for children who need nursing care throughout the day while their parents are at work or at school. And this is the only one of its kind in Lackawanna County. We are very grateful to Kurt, to Bill King, to Jim Cummings, to Jack Marks, to John McGovern, and all the Steamtown organizers, all the volunteers, all the runners, Pat, and the supporters and friends. We look forward to seeing you at the 23rd Annual Steamtown Marathon on Sunday, October 7th. Thank you all so very much. Thanks for this opportunity to speak today, and God bless each and every one of you.
Thanks for coming in. Kurt, come out for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let everyone know that the registration is still open, right, Kurt? For
yes.
Steamtown, let's step up to the mic. Still open? For
registration is still open. If you want to take part in it, you can visit the Steamtown Marathon website. You can find links right now on social media through the Visitors Bureau. We're running a campaign trying to drive more people to it. Spots are limited, so we would encourage people to do it quickly. And the deadline is in the first week of October, so they need to get it done soon. But nothing can beat the impact that it has on this wonderful cause. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the impact that it has for Lackawanna County tourism and the economic impact to our area, specifically to Scranton. These runners come in, and oftentimes they don't come alone. They bring their family, and they're enjoying our local attractions. We make sure they have all the information that they need, but they're eating at our local restaurants, they're staying at our hotels, they're visiting our local attractions, and the impact that it has, not only in recognition by putting us on the map and to a lot of people and to an entire demographic of people, it's also a very nice economic impact to our area to have all these folks here and enjoying our community for the time that they're here.
And it's great for all the runners. They actually, most of the restaurants give percentages off, and there's options for them.
They do. Both the Marathon Committee and the Visitors Bureau offer coupons to a lot of different, not only restaurants, but to some stores, some local attractions, to try to make it as nice an event as we can for the runners and especially their families that came along with them, because we know when the next running season comes and the next marathon season comes, we want the families to be supportive of coming back to the Steamtown Marathon, because they can enjoy it and almost make a family vacation out of it.
Oh, it's a great weekend. And I just want to wish all the runners good luck, and to the committee, Bill King and Commissioner Cummings and everyone else. I know it's a large undertaking. The moment that it's over, they're preparing for the next one. So please come on out, support the runners. Even if you don't have a runner, you could. I mean, it's 26.2 miles from Forest City to Scranton. You know, I mean, a lot of these could be, a lot of the people that are viewing this can actually just walk out their front door and actually see the runners come by. Come on out and cheer them on. It's a tough race, and it ends at our historical Lackawanna County Courthouse, and it's a great feeling to come down Washington Avenue and see the finish lines.
Yeah, the committee does an amazing job, and obviously it benefits just a remarkable organization with St. Joe's.
Commissioners have anything to say?
How many miles is that?
26.2.
Where do you start?
Forest City,
And courthouse, so how do you get down there?
through roads and trails.
Did you run the whole thing?
Yes, I do. I wonder too. Yeah, it's my 23rd one.
Ever win?
When? I'm happy to. Like I said, it's I'm sure that anybody who does a marathon, it's definitely in the top 10 bucket list items. But there's nothing like the feeling of the last 3 blocks, your family waiting, and it all becomes a big shoot coming down the hill. Yeah. And the amazing, and I think this goes for all the runners, the difference between outrageous pain and being able to relax is just a line across the road. Because you're trying to keep yourself in control for the whole race, and then when you get to the finish line, you can just relax. It's amazing. It really is. So to all the runners, good luck, and I'd like to thank all their sponsors. They do a great job. And St. Joe's, second to none to come up Electric Street and see everybody, or cut up Sunset, and then cut back on the Electric, and then cut back down Washington. It's inspirational when the kids are out there and as adults.
Commissioner, how does that work? You sponsor a runner and that's how you make the donations? So how much is it?
No, they have like placards and different things down the finish line. You can make big major donations and stuff like that. But they'll take, I'm assuming that they'll take a small donation from $1 up to whatever someone wants to give.
Yeah, where do you send it? Because I mean, I'm not running. I'll send you mine.
I'll get you the information. Thank you.
Thank you.
But thanks for coming and thank you for what St. Joe's do. They do God's work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, 18-0189. It's a proclamation declaring October as United Way Month in Lackawanna County.
Go back and approve the minutes.
Yes.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Meeting to order on Wednesday, September 19th, 10 a.m., the Commissioners' Conference Room, because we did all those in the beginning. Okay, could I have a motion for the approval of minutes? Second. Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Yes. Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0189. Proclamation declaring October as United Way Month in Lackawanna County. What do we have from United Way? All right. Gary, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good, Commissioner.
Talk to me, boss.
Yes, thank you again. This seems to be, seems like we did this yesterday. It comes around rather quickly, but I'd like to thank you all for your support and your help with the United Way campaign. It was about 2 weeks ago, and I'd like to thank Commissioner Terriani also for attending our United Way campaign kickoff, which was pretty well attended this year. It never ceases to amaze me. This is the 31st campaign for me, and it never ceases to amaze me the generosity of the people of Lackawanna and Wayne counties who join us in our effort to make our community a little bit better for those in need. We raise in a very short period of time about $3.5 million from this community, which is pretty amazing. And every dime of that $3.5 million stays right here in the community helping individuals in need. A recent study indicated that 1 in 3 people in our community use a United Way funded service. And I have to say it was a pleasure following Joanne and St. Joe Center. St. Joe Center has been a member of United Way and a recipient of United Way funds for about 93 years now. So we're today asking for your support once again to help those in need. I'd like to also recognize Jason Kavulich and Fran Pantuso and Justin McGregor, who are leading the Lackawanna County campaign for the Lackawanna County employees. One of the things I'd be remiss if I didn't mention is, again, to thank you, Commissioners, for a partnership. One of the things United Way does, and does rather effectively, is bring together groups of individuals to solve a community problem. We have been partnering for many years with the County Human Services Department, and most recently partnered with Area Agency on Aging with Jason Kavulich under his tutelage to begin a program called ROAM, which is Remote Older Adult Monitoring, in trying to help seniors stay in their home as long as they possibly can by monitoring their health and vital statistics. In a very short period of time, that program has come up with some pretty amazing statistics in how we've been able to catch problems that seniors are having before they became, manifested themselves becoming too bad. So I'd like to thank Jason and all of you for your support, because without your support this wouldn't happen. So thank you again, and anything you can do to help us over the next couple of months would be greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Gary. We have a proclamation. Whereas for over 90 years, the United Way of Lackawanna County and Wayne counties brought people together to focus on the most important needs of the community and create positive impacts. Whereas the theme of the 2018 United Way campaign is Inspire, Connect, Impact. As we join fighting for the education of financial stability and health of everyone in Lackawanna County and Wayne County. Whereas the mission of United Way is to improve the quality of life of the people of Lackawanna County and Wayne County by serving as a catalyst for community problem solving and conducting an efficient volunteer fundraising effort to positively impact the community's most compelling social problems. And whereas United Way advances its common good by creating opportunities for better life for all, it focuses on the education, income, health, and essential building blocks for good quality life. Community support is needed more than ever to live united through the United Way. Now therefore, we, Patrick and O'Malley, Jared and Terriani, and Maureen and Cummins, Commissioners of Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania, do hereby acknowledge and proclaim the month of 2018 on behalf of the 214,000 citizens as United Way Month in Lackawanna County. Would you like to come forward?
Now, before I leave, far be it from me for missing an opportunity, so I'm going to ask you for your personal support, and there's your pledge packet.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Take it.
Thank you. You get a pen.
I was talking on the elevator. Thank you for all your work.
I'd like to personally thank Jason Kavulich and our own Fran Pantuso and all of our staff for being involved and, really pushing this. It really matters in Lackawanna County, and one of our biggest things that we do for Lackawanna County is human services, and our staff takes this on as just an extra item for them. So congratulations to all of them. Okay, 18-0190, Small Business Spotlight.
We have, how is that?
Crotty.
Crotty's Ash, Joe Crotty, and Sheila Sanker.
Oh, no.
We have Joe's mom. Joe just had surgery. So.
That works. Moms always work.
Tell
How are you? We're basically like a small plate bar. We do like tapas. We have grilled cheese. We have different appetizers like a charcuterie board. We serve bourbon. We have different craft beers. We have a lot of martinis, a lot of crazy martinis. So it just opened. It was 2 years ago in July. We're in the hill section of Scranton.
I would like to just mention, thank you very much for inviting us here today.
Put the microphone on.
I am representing my son Joe, who is recovering from surgery. But the bar actually started in the 1940s with my son's great-grandfather, Joseph Crotty, on Delaware Street in Oliphant. And when he died, his son, Joseph Crotty, took the bar over in the 50s and 60s. Now the third generation of Joseph Crotty's, can you tell we're an Italian family around Joseph? Joseph Crotty is running and had a dream of opening Crotty's on Ash. So he and Sheila got together and decided they'd like to do more of a metropolitan look with a historical building on Ash Street in East Scranton. And they specialize in the gourmet gold cheese and prohibition cocktails. And it's a very comfortable, homey atmosphere. And they do have entertainment on the weekends and certain nights. And they do have private parties, and they've had class reunions. And it's a very nice, comfortable, where you can relax and enjoy yourself. So thank you very much for recognizing Crotty's on Ash.
She sounded a lot better than me.
Well, everybody's
That's my problem.
everybody's fine. Well, no, I mean, why I do the, and why I asked our commissioners to do this business spotlight was to recognize people like yourself that have had a heritage here in Lackawanna County.
Correct.
And their families continue that heritage and create jobs and the opportunity for others to provide them with employment. And to give others the inspiration to build their own business. Oh, I don't have a mic on. So, I thank you. And it's to help other people in our community inspire them to create their own business and give them the courage to say, look at this family and what they've done, we can start this. And the younger generation like yourself who had the courage to do this, you're the face of the future. And, you know, Joe is someone, and the family is someone that people like her can look to and say, yes, I can do this. They've done this. I can do this, and I can provide a way for my family to have an income and not depend on anyone else but themselves. That's what America is. We're individual freedom, and you know, we are entrepreneurs, all of us, I think. And so proud to have you here to show that family, generation to generation, and it may have changed the idea, but it's still theirs. And that's just a testament to all of you. So regardless of how well you speak or how well you feel you spoke, you did very well, and I'm so proud to have both of you and all of you here, and thank you and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It's close to our heart. It really is, absolutely. My son did want to stay in the area, and he does want to raise his family here. There is a community love between everyone, and he wants to continue that, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming in, and I hope he gets better soon.
Thank you.
Commissioner Notarianni?
Was Karate on Delaware Street still open in the early 70s?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
I think I might have had it because I wasn't old enough prior.
Yes. Yes.
I had been there. It was a wonderful place.
Yes.
Wonderful restaurant, good food,
Yes.
wonderful people.
Yes.
It's a long time ago. But that was going to be my first question. Is it same with family that have that? Because it's a great place to
and lovely enough, my son has also developed some recipes that are family recipes that he serves in the bar. And they are named, sometimes he calls this Noni's pasta, or, you know, Rose's antipasto. He does different things like that to keep it a family connection. So yes, thank you.
It's a great spot, and your current location is a wonderful
It is a beautiful building.
Yeah, it is. It's
It really, it has a wonderful feeling to it. We're very happy with that. Thank you.
Good luck with it. I'm sure you do very well.
Okay, Sheila, Joe's mom. Hard work, a lot of hard work involved. It's not easy. You know, all your customers are friends and family after a while. Like, you know, you get to know them, you know their drinks when they come in. Start getting it ready when they walk through the door. Congratulations on keeping your family's legacy alive. It's fabulous, keeping the karate name alive. It really matters in our community. You know, Main Street Business USA is what keeps America alive. And this is just another way of part-time and full-time jobs. You know, both of you running the facility itself and making sure that, you know, the name is kept alive. And serving something that's different. I was reading about some of your different drinks and stuff, but I like you started to name different things after different areas. Mill Street, Mai Tai, Dunmore Buck, you can't go around with that. But,
it's our biggest seller, because it's called Dunmore Buck too.
Dunmore Buck, is it?
Yeah, everybody tries it, yep.
So you're the bartender, do you bartend yourself?
Yeah, Yeah, I bartend. So it's just a couple of us. It's myself and like 2 other bartenders, 3 in the fall. You know, Joe prepares everything. He does a lot of like the bookwork, everything else, and you know, we just try and have a good time, keep it small, keep it like a little family, and try and make things new. Try and switch it up, do different events, try and get, you know, people in the door with different kinds of like interests and parties, and so.
You got different drinks. You got the crazy cucumber, the jingle water.
I infuse my own vodka, so I flavor my own vodka, so that's a big winner too. So
people like that.
Yeah,
I mean it's a designer type of thing. So people come out for that.
And it's good. It makes a difference when you use like fresh fruit and vegetables to, you know, flavor a vodka. So
what's great is you're intertwining the family history with today. It really is. It's really great. Like you said, and you know what I mean, when you're the business is run lean. You know what I mean, you have the exact amount of workers. I mean, that's how you survive. That's how you make money. That's how you grow. That's how you pay your bills, and that's how you pay off your building and go beyond that. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Cummings? Oh, geez. Website. Where do we get to? How do we find out?
Right now, like, we're very big on using social media.
Sure.
Just because nowadays that seems to work. But our main Facebook page is Fridays on Ash. So it'd be facebook.com/Fridays on Ash. We also have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. So I have all the social media stuff. Yeah, Google. We have some things on Google, so eventually we'll get to a website.
Great.
I'm not the best with computers and either see, but we'll figure it out.
Facebook is probably one of your best.
Facebook's great. And it really, a lot of people see everything. They're like, you know what, you guys post everything and we always know what's going on. So Facebook is definitely a positive.
Now I'm going to ask you for something some people don't even have any longer. Do you have a phone number?
Yes.
Is there a phone number? So let's just call.
It's 570-507-2979. And we open at 4 o'clock. We're closed Tuesdays. And we're starting to open for football season on Sundays early. So
good, yeah.
So Tuesdays we're always closed. Yep. So.
After dinner.
Commissioner Cummings.
For being an inspiration in your community, the entire family, and congratulations again. A certificate of recognition, the County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Fridays on Ash in honor of achieving the designation of a small business spotlight in Lackawanna County, given this 19th day of September 2018 by Commissioner Patrick O'Malley, Commissioner Jerry Materiani, and myself, Commissioner Cummings. Come on up.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mom. All right, here we go. Everybody look at it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. More. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
See you.
You too.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay. Resolutions 18-0188. Approving current payables.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Commissioners. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners, Lackawanna County, does hereby approve the following payables. Lackawanna County General Fund numbers 269069 through 270001 inclusive, totaling $1,732,813.72. And electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $8,222,785.69.
Controller DeBillio, everything good?
Yes, Commissioners, all invoices are in order and have been audited and already paid.
Okay, does the board have any questions for Mr. DeBillio? Need to make a motion approving current payables. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0187.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a resolution authorizing the filing of applications with the Monroe County Local Share Account Grant to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Lackawanna County is submitting grant applications to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development through the Monroe County Local Share Grant Program on behalf of the various agencies as follows. Abington Heights School District, $40,000 for a district-wide door entry security upgrade. Archibald Veterans Monument Committee, $559,492.50 for a Archibald Veterans Monument Park. Carbondale YMCA, $125,000 for lower level renovations, Phase 1. Clark's Green Borough, $164,850 for 2 maintenance vehicles with plows. Greenfield Township, $200,000 for the Greenfield Township Sewer Authority plant and facility upgrade. Holy Rosary Center, $23,877 for a basketball court and gym renovations. The Oliphant Borough Freedom Fighter Memorial, $60,000 for a Freedom Fighter Memorial to be erected. Scranton Civic Ballet, $75,790 for a roof replacement. The Neshoba Daisy VFW in Keckville for $41,790 for a roof replacement and painting project. Scranton-Lackawanna Human Development Agency, $34,813 for weatherization program vehicles. The Tripp Park Community Center, $40,000 for building renovations and carpeting. United Community Outreach Food Bank for $44,000 for a fire sprinkler system. The VFW Post 7963 in Einan for $44,640 for a building renovation, ADA ramp, and stair replacement. And the West Scranton Little League for $48,308 upgrades for equipment for the 2 different fields. Here to speak to the board on this is George Kelly. George.
Good morning, Commissioners. Local share account, it's the revenues generated out of the PA Horse Racing and Gaming Act of 2004 that takes 2% of the gross revenues of gambling in Monroe County and allows us to improve the community and economic well-being of all communities across Lackawanna County. It's a competitive grant. It's good for them to fill out an application. They submit it to the Commonwealth Financing Authority down in Harrisburg. We're the conduit. They basically have to come through us or another taxing body to apply for these grants. Harrisburg is usually very comfortable with the county applying for those. So by today's resolution, we are just agreeing to submit these grants. We are not saying that we support every one, we strongly advocate for each grant. We're just doing our responsibility as county government.
Who does the final approval?
Commonwealth Financing Authority down in Harrisburg consists of 7 members. You have the Senate, you have the House, you have minority majorities, and there's a person from an economic development organization that is a 7th vote. The votes have to be unanimous. Therefore, all 7 members must approve the distribution of grants to the different projects that are submitted. If there's one nay vote, they don't pass and do not get funded.
And who hands out the grants?
The Department of Community and Economic Development will award the grants. They have 5 or 6 analysts in the state that actually make sure that everything is bona fide and done according to regulations. And there's full transparency in these bidding procedures. They monitor it closely. Our goal is that we'll pass the paperwork and the applications back and forth between the applicants and the state to ensure that everything is done. So we're here to help and assist the different groups that are applying for the monies to do the right thing to ensure that everything's in order.
Why don't they just do that? Why do we have to do it?
The state has taken a direction of a lot of concentration of grant administration to be managed by county level. For example, our community development programs. So years ago, individual municipalities could apply directly to HUD or to CDBG to actually get funds in, but they've recently changed that over the last couple of years to say the municipalities don't have the capacity to do it themselves. They need somebody to be there that, 1, understands the process, 2, is also has the financial wherewithal to back up the applications of projects and make sure everything is done right. So it's a matter of having capacity and expertise on staff, which the Board of Commissioners allowed us to build up here at the county over the last 4 or 5 years.
So they come to you for help filling out the application process?
Some do. Most of them fill it out themselves. What they typically would do is go to a state rep or senator and say, it's almost like, oh, please, sir, I want some more. And they'll ask for money and ask for support. And there's a single application that's filled out online that they're responsible to do. but they usually submit it through us, where we will make sure that everything is in order and to help them in their chances of getting funding for their project.
Thank you, George.
Okay, does your board have any other questions? I'd like to make a motion authorizing the filing of local shares account grant applications. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
No, and I would like to make a comment on why I'm voting no. There are a lot of programs on this list that we all could support. Actually, most of them we would support. However, I have stated in the past and continue to state that this is LSA money, which is loan share accounts from the gambling money, from our casino money, and that was voted on by the people to be used specifically for property tax help for all of our citizens. It was not meant to be walking around money by our state legislature. And frankly, I find it offensive that that's what this money is being used for at this point. You know, I mean, these are good causes to have, but I'm sure that through our grant process we could find other funding available for them. And I hate to say no to some of these projects. I hate it. But I will not ever support using money that was specifically voted on by the people of Pennsylvania to be used to help them with their property taxes. And here now we're using it for all of these projects, one of them asking for $500,000, $559,000. These are huge amounts of money. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people do not believe in gambling, and it took a lot for them to push that lever to say yes, because they wanted to help the homeowners of our state, and that was the only reason they did it, and they're completely against gambling. But because they knew that our homeowners needed help with paying their property taxes, they went against their better judgment and voted yes. And here we are now spending all this money in these different areas that was never meant to be spent in. So that's why I'm voting no. Thank you.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes.
Thanks, George. 18-0191.
This is a resolution approving Alerta for the Borough of Archibald. It's a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County regarding eligibility under Alerta for property tax exemption for certain deteriorated property located in the Borough of Archibald. Whereas, in accordance with the procedures set forth in the Alerta statute, the Borough Council of the Borough of Archibald, Lackawanna County, held hearings to define the boundaries of the deteriorated areas within the Borough of Archibald. And whereas, as set forth in the Borough of Archibald Ordinance Number 6 of 2018, the Borough has determined that approximately 70.21 acre property located and known as lots 37-43 in the Valley View Business Park is a deteriorated property and is entitled to 10 years of exemption from municipal real property taxes under Alerta following the exemption schedule that was duly adopted as part of the Borough of Archibald Ordinance. And whereas the Board of Directors of the Valley View School District adopted a resolution providing that lots 37 through 43 of the Valley View Business Park shall be exempt under Alerta following an exemption schedule for 10 years for the real estate property taxes that would otherwise be owed to the Valley View School District as a result of the increase in assessment attributable to the cost of future improvements, which schedule is consistent with the exemption schedule adopted by the Borough of Archibald. Now therefore be it resolved that for 10 years beginning January 1st, 2020, upon the expiration of the current KOZ on December 31st, 2019 for lots 39, 40, 41, and 42 of the Valley View Business Park, and on January 1st, 2021 for the expiration of the current KOZ on December 31st of 2020 for lots 37, 38, and 43 of the Valley View Business Park shall be exempt from real property taxes that would otherwise be owed to Lackawanna County as a result of the increase in assessment attributable to such costs of such improvements constructed on the aforesaid lots 37 through 43 of the Valley View Business Park, consistent with the exemption schedule adopted by the Borough of Archibald and the Valley View School District. Here to address the board on this today is Attorney Patrick Lavelle.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity. The driving force of this is an entity that I represent, which is entitled NFI, which is an acronym for an entity that has approximately 40 million square feet of warehouse space, that they develop throughout the United States. The proposal for this particular site is to build a 1 million square foot warehouse, which will service the area. It will create a substantial number of jobs in the construction process, and probably equally create a number of jobs for individuals who will live there, who work there, and live in the community after it's constructed. The maps that I have received show that there's between 250 to 300 parking spaces for employees. Hopefully they'll all be filled. That's essentially a summary that I can offer you as to what the property will be utilized for when it's developed. And I think your solicitor has capably outlined what the proposal is. Thank you.
We're hoping that they carpool at least 2 to a car for those 300 spots, so that would be great.
I don't think there'll be any objection to that.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Lavelle?
I just think it's something that, again, where we need to help to provide employment here, we have to lower some taxes to try and help out that. Just another, I mean, I wish that there was other ways that other people in the private sector can get that as well on their homes. So,
Commissioner Terry? We compete with a lot of different people. We have to show them the opportunities that we have, and we got to make it conducive for these businesses to come to Lackawanna County. And no one wants to do a reduction on anything, but to draw businesses in our community, you have to be competitive with other communities that are doing the same thing. So this is a good opportunity for us to do something, draw more jobs to Lackawanna County. So
I wholeheartedly agree. It's a necessity.
yeah, like I said, you're competing against all different communities that try to do all different things, and we have to be unique and we have to be ahead of them. So
well, it's the reason we're not. It's the reason that I don't support reassessment. I'm trying to make sure that our homeowners have a low tax. That's exactly the same reason. So I agree. Great idea to help out our businesses and get jobs.
Draw them in. I'd like to make a motion approving local economic revitalization tax assistance property, Archibald Borough. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thank
Thank you,
Member
everyone.
Lavelle. Thanks for coming in.
Good luck.
Good luck. 18-0192.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is a resolution accepting an architectural proposal from the Palumbo Group. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby accept a proposal from the Palumbo Group, 318 Penn Avenue, Scranton, for an architectural design and renovations for the relocation of the Central Court at 1360 Wyoming Avenue for a flat fee of $165,000. This is the Wyoming Avenue property behind the prison that we recently purchased. And here to address the board on this is Mr. Palumbo. John.
The man himself.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks for coming in, John.
We have a approximately 13,000 square foot building that is behind the prison. It's on Wyoming Avenue, and that's going to be for Central Court, which is going to help us to alleviate some of the crowding problems in the courthouse. We have an estimate, original estimate of about $2.9 million, which we feel we can cut back to about 2.5 after we do some cost cutting.
How about 1.2?
Well, I'll try.
Okay.
We'll see what happens on that. So we're confident that we can get it in at that number, and it's going to also save on the transportation for bringing prisoners from the courthouse to the prison. We can go directly to this new building and then go into they can go into the prison. So it's going to save on that too.
And additionally, John, you have to coordinate with the AOPC in Harrisburg, correct? Right. Court facilities and buildings, so that that'll be approved through.
Exactly.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Palumbo?
This was not put out on an RFP, is that correct, John?
Right. No, sure.
Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. I'd like to make a motion accepting the architectural proposal for John Palumbo. Do I have a second? Second, okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
No.
Commissioner Cummings?
I had all intentions of abstaining from this vote because I don't agree with the project itself. I abstained from the original vote. But I don't want to hold up their work. So I have to make the statement though, because I think it's a reasonable bill I think we should have held off on the project itself and waited until next year. But I know how it's already, we already own the building, so voting no is, if you voted yes to purchase the building, voting no is kind of ridiculous at this point. And it's just forcing, I mean, I want the work to continue. I'm not going to hold up the work. I'm just not going to do that. We have enough going on in this county. We don't need more problems. So kind of being forced on this vote, like I said, I was going to abstain, not because I don't agree with you, John, or the work that you have coming. It's just the project itself. I think we could have waited until we were done with our Globe project and all the expenses were done there and saw where we were at with our budget, and then moved ahead with the Wyoming Avenue project. I did not expect Commissioner Notarianni to vote no on this, so this is something that I'm going to vote yes on because I don't want to hold up the project for the courts. And I do agree we need to fix that system. It's a complete surprise to me that Commissioner Notarianni is now not supporting it.
It's not that I don't support it. I think it should have been put out for an RFP. It's relatively simple. I don't disagree with the project. I think it's a great project. I think this procedure was incorrect.
Oh, thank you for clarifying, but I think...
Perfectly all right.
Thank you, I appreciate you for clarifying, but I think that Mr. Palumbo was the initial person that went out there to begin with. So do we want to hire someone else at this point?
Okay.
Actually, we had talked.
You want to go on there?
Yeah, there'd be a big concern about just leaving the project and the building sitting there for an extended period of time. I mean, that's costly. It costs more than this contract to continue to do that. So if you were to discuss that, I know your reservations about the timeliness of it, it should have waited, but I would tell you you'd have to consider the costs that you could lose if you did not go forward at this time, given the circumstances.
I understand, and you know, I understand how the Judge Brace is, you know, he really wants this completed. And I understand why. I understand the importance of it, and I understand what they're working with right now in the courthouse. It's a mess. That's the only reason I abstained, is because I do agree with the project, as I've said numerous times today already. I don't want to hold it up on them, but I certainly don't want to be the reason that it was held up either. So that's about all I can say. I'll give you the second vote on that. Yes.
You know, listen, we started the Globe project. There was really no anticipation of this project even being on the horizon, but it showed up. And the rates are great this time. You know, I mean, we actually got this. This isn't even a bond; it's a mortgage. You know, I mean, as we draw out, we're going to pay on it. We're going to save a lot of money on, you know, the aspect of that. This is going to make the jail even. It's going to make better security for the prison. The inmates are not going to be out of custody of basically the prison. All they're going to do is walk through a hallway into the courtroom and then back into the prison if they're already in the prison. If something happens and they're not in prison, they do get something happens, they can actually be taken into the prison through the central courthouse. It really makes sense. Financially, if this was to go down, we could lose a lot of money on it. And the other thing is, professional services, do we have to do our fees on them? No? Okay.
Explain that, please.
Please explain that.
You don't have to, professional services under the county code do not have to be put up for bid. They can be awarded. Anyone with a professional license, which architects have them. So.
And Mr. Palumbo, you've been actually involved in this project since the day that we walked through the building, right?
Right, probably.
You walked through the building.
About a year.
They voted on it. It was supposed to do that. Like, I don't understand.
And I would just indicate this was not the first time this was brought up.
That's right. It was exactly. This is like ridiculous. It was already voted on.
And Commissioner Cummings, I understand your rationale on it. But like I said, the big thing at the time was the building was available, financing opportunities were great at this time, and there's no perfect time, but you're right, this was something that should have came down the road, but it's here in front of us, and if we hold it up, we lose money.
Most of the money will be spent in 2019. So it'll be after the Globe project is finished.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're not going to start, we won't start construction probably.
We don't pay anything until we draw something out.
Yeah, there are still tenants in that building when we bought it. I think their leases expire at the end of November, so we won't be able to start construction until after the first of the year anyways. Right now, we're just going to develop the plans and get them approved through Harrisburg, so they're ready to go. And then next year, once the tenants are vacated the premises, we can then begin renovation.
Are we collecting the rent on that?
We are.
Well, you didn't tell me that. If I knew we were collecting rent, making some money.
That was part of the sale.
You go on the microphone.
That was part of the sale. There were 2 tenants in there, and since we didn't reasonably expect to start doing work in there this year, we had agreed that they could stay there, but they would have to pay the county, like they were, I think it's about $7,000 a month, and that's 6,000 or 7,000.
Wow, interesting.
You know, when I became commissioner to move the county forward and try to save the taxpayers' money and do what has to be done to make the county better than it was when I got here. And this absolutely is one of those projects that needs to move forward. So I will be voting yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 18-0193.
This is a motion, Commissioners, to approve the holiday marketplace, and here to address the board is Chris Calvi, the Arts and Culture Program Manager. Chris.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for considering this. This is for the Lackawanna County Grant-Made Holiday Marketplace, which will be held December 7th, 8th, and 9th. On Friday night, it will be 5 till 9. Saturday, it will be 11 to 6. And then Sunday, 11 till 4. And last year was a great success. Over 15,000 people attended, and the businesses in the area were very pleased with the traffic that they had in their businesses in the mall at Steamtown. Was very grateful for this event. So it's a nice opening for the holidays, and it helps the vendors, and it helps the residents of Lackawanna County acquire things for the holidays.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Calvi?
No, I think it was a great event, though. Last year we had
thousands.
Last year it was inside the Globe stores, I have correct, Mr.
Yeah.
Calvin? It was inside. And now this year the options were the mall.
Main option is the tent out front, right in front of the Globe store. We have a floor.
That's a tent out in front of the Globe.
Yes, and it will be heated, there'll be a structure, and there'll be, tables and chairs for the vendors. And we're looking at 84 to possibly 100 vendors.
And how expensive is this tent?
The tent could be around $50,000, $55,000. We're in collaboration with the Visitors and Convention Bureau, Lackawanna County Visitors and Convention Bureau.
There's a partner with you.
Yeah, they're a partner with us, and also in that figure, there's tables, chairs, and equipment to go along with it that last year was paid separately. So,
is that in addition to the $6,500 and another money from the visitor center in addition to the money from the county itself?
The visitors last year, I think they gave 20, they're talking about 15 this year.
And the other options was inside the mall.
Possibly the mall. There will be scattered around, and we don't know about the vendors if they want to participate.
And how expensive, they did not want to participate?
We don't know yet, because we're hearing more for Wyoming Avenue for the tent right there.
And the other option was Boulevard Court, the 500 block.
500 block. We don't know the specific, there was a meeting that took place, but we don't know the specific of the costs of that. Because we're still searching out proposals for it.
I think Bogart's a great spot. The problem is it's narrow, and it wouldn't be able to handle the amount of people that we had this. For those of us who actually went to this event the last 2 years and saw the impact and the amount of people going to downtown Scranton, I mean, I had the mayor of Scranton say to me, "This is the most people I've ever seen in downtown Scranton, ever." It wasn't a parking spot. Yeah, it was inside the Globe store. But originally, it actually was a tent, this is a long time ago, on Washington Avenue in the grass, and that's how far this is growing. But now it's an actual event.
This tent will have heaters, and it'll be just beautiful.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the holiday marketplace. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Okay, opportunity for the public to address the board.
Joan Hodawanitz, Granton. I missed the last meeting because of the appointment at the VA, so I got
We
to...
missed you, actually. First thing I was looking for when I walked there, where's Joanne?
I know, well, you know how those VA, can't cancel the
You
appointment.
gotta give us his phone number so we can call to make sure that you're, you know.
At any rate, I've got to get back into the mix and find out the status of things that I've lost touch, because you only have meetings every 2 weeks. Government Center, are we on track for moving in early January?
We're looking at,
November.
I'm gonna answer that under Commissioner's business.
Yeah,
I'll go into all.
Remember when you wanted us in on 1st of September?
Joan, I'm already
She went
packing
in
up and
June.
going. Are you kidding me? I'll be over there next week, I think.
Okay.
I'll answer that.
Also on August 23rd, there was a short article in the paper, legal bill tops 500,000. And basically it summarized the bills from the law firm of Myers, Breyer, and Kelly and additional bills and came up with a total of $551,206.82. This is in regards to the probe into sexual abuse at the Lackawanna County Prison. Do we have a current figure?
That's the same figure. We haven't had, there was no bill this month for that, right?
I didn't see anything in the payables.
There was no bills this month, Joan, but I believe that the total to date is 566,000.
Okay, 566,000. Okey dokey. Whatever happened to the proposal to privatize the tax claim bureau? Are you still vetting that, or is that a dead issue? What's the story?
I'll answer it under Commissioner's business.
I'm sorry, I missed your question, I apologize.
I said, what is the status of the privatization of the tax claim bureau? Is that a live proposal? Was it vetted, or is it a done deal?
I'll say right now, I'm a no, no matter where it is. No.
Okay. Now, you know there are many, many wonderful nonprofit organizations in this county. At the top of the list are the 7 county libraries, and my personal favorite, the Scranton Public Library.
Why is that exactly?
Just love that place. But there are other organizations, and another one is the Lackawanna County Historical Society. And they do many wonderful things. And one of the things they do during fair weather is various walking tours of downtown Scranton. And this may interest you, Pat, since I gave you that book on haunted Scranton. Starting this Friday.
All right.
Starting this Friday, September 21st, and every Friday through October 26th, they're going to give a Scranton After Dark haunted walking tour.
Oh my God, my son will love this.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. I've heard about, I never had a chance to participate because I used to work.
What is it, September what?
September 21st, this Friday is the first one. It runs to October 26th.
It's every Friday?
Every Friday night.
And what does it have to get a little towards, like 7 o'clock-ish, or what is it?
It starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Catlin House. Okay, it's $15 per person, but this would be a wonderful date night for a young man and woman, you know. Go on the haunted walking tour, they go to a wonderful restaurant, and a little looky-schnippy little okay? So anyone who is interested, you can call the Historical Society to register. And the number is 570-344-3841. I don't want to give away all of the surprises, but one of the haunted places is the Radisson Hotel.
Great.
Back in the day, you remember the 1918 Spanish flu? They used that building as a morgue because they didn't have enough places to park the bodies. That's how many people died. That place is well haunted. Other places that are haunted, of course, is Andy Gavin's
I didn't
Pub.
realize that.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Andy Gavin's Pub, a county jail.
Oh, of course.
And the county courthouse. So it could be a fun day for, you know, young people on a Friday night, you know. People say there's nothing to do in Scranton. Hell, there isn't.
My son's at that age where he wants to hear ghost stories, so this one will work.
Yeah, this will work. Also, the marathon. This is the 23rd marathon. You're going to run, right, Pat? Your 23rd time?
Yes.
What time does it start at Forest City? 8 in the morning?
It starts at 8 a.m.
Okay, and what time did you cross the finish line last year?
I was that good last year. I would hope for probably 1:30, hopefully.
Okay. Here's my challenge to the people of this county. I think all you would.
You actually were there. You were there when I came
will
through.
be there again this year.
Oh, thanks.
But not as a finish line precisely. I think that.
Were you going to be by the library?
No.
The library's right
I'm
up the
going to
street.
be in the 1000 block of North Washington just before you hit the hill.
Oh, the hill
running
like
up to
Cooper's Hill. That's the worst part.
Cooper's Hill, the worst hill because it's the last hill in the marathon. And I think that every would-be runner in Lackawanna County ought to be down there. Get down there around 1 o'clock or so. When Pat comes trundling up, we'll all run with you to get you up that last hill and down to the finish line. Okay, because I think it's wonderful. Anybody who runs that marathon, because it's such a noble cause. And I have run marathons when I was in the Army, and it's a fair. Okay, it is more psychologically than physically challenging. Would you agree?
Yes.
It gets in your head.
It's all mental.
Okay, it is mental,
I'm
especially
good, I'm
at the
good for
end.
about 60 miles, then it gets really bad.
But I think everybody, maybe around 1 o'clock, around the 1000 block of North Washington, just before you're going to start getting to that last hill. 'Cause that last hill is pretty steep and
It
you're
is.
exhausted.
It's a block and a half, too.
Okay? Because once you pass Cooper's, then it's straight and downhill and it's smooth sailing. So
My favorite part is actually where it starts to, the incline down to the finish line is actually from the library in.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
as they go through that light, it's,
I will be there, and I hope a lot of other people will be there
I
too.
hope I'll be there.
Okay, you will be there.
I'll be there, don't worry.
You don't want to be shamed if you don't show
No,
up.
no, I'll be
and
there no
stand.
matter what happens.
Or let's be, if you go in the ambulance, make sure you're
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
sure as we go, and we aren't just standing there. Make sure
I'll
the
make sure I-
ambulance driver.
I'll make sure I wave.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thanks, John.
Anyone else? Okay. Commissioners, other business.
It's only 10 after 11, we're doing good. Was it my turn? Thanks, John, for coming in, and I'm sorry I didn't make the book sale. I thought you were going to yell at me, and you didn't. so
Hey,
I'll
there'll be
apologize.
another one December 4th through the 9th.
Okay, sorry about
Yeah.
that. I had, I'm going to talk about why, so stick around.
Okay.
But one of your things about the AG office, I just think it's a little bit frustrating for me to hear about the expenditures on this because these costs were so unnecessary. The district attorney and our commissioner's office specifically turned this over to the AG's office. We're the ones that decided to tell him our district attorney had a conflict, so we can't investigate it. I mean, it's not as though we weren't trying to do our due diligence. We could have just left it in the DA's hands and said, you know what? We don't care, go ahead and investigate it anyway. But we didn't. We did the right thing. I mean, come on, we did the right thing and handed it over to the AG's office because we felt that there was a conflict with the current DA's office, and he came to us and told us that. And, that's what we decided to do. People act as though, then what this AG's office did was, I think, nothing but a sideshow. All they had to do was walk in our front door. We gave them the case. All they had to do was say, we need this information, and we would have handed it to them. But instead, they come and they raid all these offices and take all this stuff that they didn't even have anything to do with the investigation at hand, make a big to-do over something that we gave them to investigate, as though it was something that they did on their own because we were just of the reputation of the prison. And I know you two can't say that because this AG is on your side of the fence. I can. I think it was ridiculous. And that $500,000 cost is the direct result of that AG coming in here and pulling all those records that they didn't even have to take. They didn't even need. What do they need children and youth records for? So if you want to complain about the cost to your county, go complain to the AG's office, because that's who created that cost. And I'm not directing that to you, Joan. I'm just saying that's the reason we have that cost. We handed them that case. We weren't trying to hide anything. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. As to why I wasn't at the book sale, and to my two other commissioners and to the solicitors, our Northeast PA has suffered at the hands of the flooding and water damage that has occurred. I mean, listen, every single person in my neighborhood has had water in their basement. If they didn't have water like myself, I had 2.5 inches of water came in the front of my basement. I soaked it up, I cleaned it, and I thought, great, I'm good to go, you know? Not knowing that in the back finished part of my basement was carpeted, furnished, game rooms, pool tables, fire televisions, pianos. We're all getting destroyed by this little tiny spore we know as mold from the water that sat on the carpet that I didn't see. One corner of the basement. One corner. I'm not alone. Every single person I talk to is, I mean, I called ServPro. I had First General there. I mean, I'm not trying to give anybody business here. I'm just saying. Every single person I called was swamped with work. They couldn't come because they were all out. Their machines were all out. Their air scrubbers and their dehumidifiers were all out. They were all being utilized. This is a disaster, and I'm sorry. None of this is covered by insurance. None of it. Because it's looked at as water, flooding, an act of God. So I would ask my fellow commissioners, you know how we had the snow emergency? And we put all those claims in?
We did a declaration immediately for the rain.
Because I think that this deserves a declaration. I really do, because our citizens need help. And I'll tell you what, I was fortunate to have been saving my money for the past 3 years and had the money to pay for this kind of damage, but I don't know how I'm going to pay for the repairs. But currently, as we speak, I have lost 3/4 of my walls in the basement. They would cut all the sheetrock out. Now the studs are going to have to go because the plates that are there are completely destroyed. And the furniture had to be thrown out. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just saying this, I'm not alone. This is what's happening across our state right now. This is happening right here in Lackawanna County to residents who, and they might not have the money to do that I had saved over the past 3 years. They might not have that, so what are they doing? And how are we helping them? I know of a church that had to decide, well, are we going to pay for cutting the walls? Or are we going, and this is directly from the guys that are working at my house, are we going to pay for them to suck all the mud out of the basement? That's their decision. So they're going to get the mud taken out, but then they're left with the 4 inches or 5 inches of walls that are still there that have to be cut out, or the whole entire place is going to be, again, mold infested. We hear, it's every building. School districts are closing because of mold, because apparently, I can tell you why. They probably had a small carpeted area that was damp and they didn't realize it, and the mold came in and took over the area. I mean, this is an emergency, I think, and there's got to be something we can do for the residents that don't have the wherewithal to pay for the damages. And even if we don't, I think we should still declare this some type of an emergency. I would ask for your advice, our solicitor's advice, whatever you feel the best route was, but our citizens really are suffering right now.
Connie, we did the declaration when the first big flood.
Right, Commissioners, yeah, we can do an emergency declaration. We'll have to check with Dayton and see what the amount of damages is across the county to qualify for state aid or not. We can check on that.
So I would make that motion to make a declaration.
Well, we'll do a resolution for next, we'll have a resolution for next meeting, Commissioner.
He's got to check it out.
But don't we have to have a time frame if we do that? Like, we ran out of time, that way it wasn't done in time last time.
No, we did a declaration for the municipalities in general for the big flood.
The big flood, yeah. We have time, Commissioner.
The problem is what happened was, it's so much rain that everything just got...
It has to be done by resolution.
Yeah.
It has to be done by resolution. We'll have one for next meeting.
Reach out to the director and see what
the damages are too. Yeah, because they have to tally the amount of damages across the county.
See if he can come in and explain it to us, even from top of it, okay?
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything that county paid for, it would be the
No, I
residents.
understand, right, yeah. We declare an emergency, and if there's
We'll resolve it
damage
for
to the
just
state,
people in
we'll
general.
qualify for
There's
the
something.
Their insurance doesn't cover it. Doesn't cover a penny.
There's so many basements that got wiped out that never got wiped out before. This water was so, like you said, I mean, it wasn't even a tropical storm. This shit just rain storms. That's what's so crazy about it.
What I was told is the water table is so high in the ground
that it's seeping up through the ground.
There's no absorption.
We had record rainfall this year, Commissioner, yeah, there were 10 inches, 10 plus inches over where we usually are.
Yeah, so thank you. I would ask for both of your support in that. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak on that, because it's devastating. It's just devastating. So, Joan, I was, you know, dealing with that. That's why, and it's been horrible. It's just been horrible. You know, everything's gone in my basement. Everything, furniture, carpet, walls, it's all gone. And it's just been, and everybody in my neighborhood's dealing with it. We had sump pumps going. It's just came out of nowhere. You know, crazy. Thank you for letting me talk about that. Next issue I wanted to talk about was in regards to the turnpike, and this group that came and spoke to us at 2 meetings ago for PA Stop Scranton Beltway. I would encourage anyone to look up PA Stop Scranton Beltway and sign the petition. This is outrageous for people to be losing their homes through eminent domain. You know, I would never support this project, and I would hope that you would be writing your legislatures and calling them. And we have an election in November. Keep that in mind. We have a governor's race, and state legislatures and state senators that are now running. So, you know, what is their vote on this project? What are they going to do to stop the turnpike from taking people's homes? And I don't care if it's one house or 20 homes. One house is a problem for eminent domain. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. And I just ask you to pay attention to that and ask whoever you know that's running for office what their thoughts are on taking people's homes to build a highway that we don't need when we can't even fix the roads and bridges we have right now. $176 million, I believe the project is. And they're going to spend that money on that, but yet I came through the Scranton Expressway this morning and I think I took the front end of my car out at the bridge. Like, I can't believe when you first come off the Scranton Expressway, that little bridge there, the hole is, I mean, I thought my tire came off, it was so bad. But yet we're talking about building another highway that we won't be able to fix when things happen. And taking homes away in the interim. It's ridiculous. I don't know whose idea this was, but they should be ashamed of themselves. The last thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, our favorite guy, Chris Kelly. God bless his heart. Chris, I need to talk to you, Chris. So he had an article in the Sunday paper.
It wasn't you, Chris. Chris Kelly.
Chris Kelly.
Oh, I thought you said Kelly.
Your face turned red.
You know, I even went out and bought a Sunday Times because I couldn't believe what somebody called and told me was in the Sunday Times. And I paid the additional fee because now it's $3 a paper, so I guess you raised your rates. But anyway, he's talking about a memo from on high reminds Clark Summit University about treating people with love and respect. The Clark Summit University formerly operated as Baptist Bible College, and he's acting as God in this article. He's saying, he signed it as, I don't know, towards the end of the article. In other words, he's trying to say he's speaking for God himself in regards to chastising a Bible teaching college about who they should and shouldn't accept into their program. You know, I never thought did I ever think I would be able to sit on a podium as a commissioner, as a county commissioner, and talk about my faith, but it's in the media, so I guess I could talk about it. So, you know, I want to make sure that Mr. Kelly understands what I, as a Christian, believe, and I would assume others do. I used to be a Catholic, but we follow Christ because we're imperfect and make mistakes, and we ask Him into our hearts to change us, just as Catholics do on First Holy Communion. They
ask Jesus Christ into their heart so that they can change them, and then they confirm it at confirmation. I remember going through both. As a born-again Christian, I have a private moment with God. I tell God that I'm a sinner. I ask Him to forgive me and allow Jesus into my heart so that He can change me. And that's how you become saved. It's just a matter of your private prayer, and the Holy Spirit comes into your heart and changes you, because people cannot change without that. That's the way we see things as Christians. We need Jesus. He died on the cross for our sins, and that's what His purpose was, to save our souls. It wasn't to write law. He didn't. God is the ruler, and He will forgive us if we accept Christ into our heart. That's the whole basis of Christianity, period. It doesn't, however, say that we have to tolerate sin and accept it as the way of life. It says that we teach people how to get that forgiveness and how to bring Christ into your heart and how He can change you by coming into your heart through the Holy Spirit. That's faith. I can't believe I was able to just say that on camera, but I was. So, you know, that's all it is, period. That's all it is in a nutshell. I find it interesting that we are able to be disrespected and condemned for following a law in God. God's law. Chris, you're talking to the wrong people. You got to talk to the guy upstairs in order to change that rule. College is just following his rule. That's all they're doing. They aren't making the rules. They're following what the rules state in the Bible. And the Bible to a Christian is the Word of God. So, I'm sorry, but if you have a problem, I would suggest that you don't speak for him, but go kneel on your knees and pray to him and ask him why he has those rules in place. If you have a problem with God, ask God. Or go to the church and ask your priest or wherever you go. Because, you know, as followers, we don't question God, we just follow Him. And we try every day the best we can to make sure we're following His law. And we fail every single day, every minute of the day. And all we can do is hope and pray that because of the grace of God and the fact that Jesus died for us, that is fact, and that's what we believe, and that's what keeps us going. And you know, that's why I'm so insistent on some of the things that I vote on here. So I hope that answers your questions, and I'm not the be-all, end-all. That's just my thoughts on the subject, and you know, like I said, feel free to call the priest, minister, school, but being tolerant, if you want people to be tolerant of what you believe, then you have to be tolerant of what we believe. So where is the tolerance for what the Christian believes? That would be my question to you. Thank you, Commissioners, for the time. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of the week.
Commissioner Terry?
No, I have no other business.
Well, that was business.
Joan, everything goes right. We're hoping to have 2 floors in November, and then moving the rest of county government in through December, and everything being in for January 1st. That's what we're looking at right now.
What about the tax claim bureau? The tax claim bureau?
I would say that's still being vetted. Yeah. We still have to make a decision whether we make a full-time person there or privatize, so that's still up in the air.
Commissioner Terry, I need never answer you for that.
Okay, I'd like to congratulate the rail riders. Our rail riders did a great job this year. They actually were, they made it to the wild card series. They made it to the governor's championship. They had a great run this year, and they weren't even supposed to be near the governor's championship. So I'd like to congratulate the team and staff and everyone at the PNC field. They do a fine job and does such a great economic impact for our community. It does so much. Also, I'd like to congratulate Joe McCarthy for the Durham Bulls. Joe McCarthy. He was a star athlete at Scranton High School, Scranton Knights, and he was the Durham Bills, and in the first inning he had a home run, and I swear the momentum built from there for their victory for the Governor's Cup. And what was really neat about the whole situation was that the Rail Riders were supposed to be 5 games here, and since all of what's going on in Carolina, they couldn't go do any games in Carolina, so all 5 games were supposed to be, I think, 2 here and 3 down there, ended up being all 5 here. So our Rail Riders had a home field advantage, and Joe McCarthy had an opportunity to come home with his Durham Bulls, and when the Governor's Cup in front of his family and friends and community, who he's such a great athlete, does such great things for his community, and we'd like to just congratulate him on his Governor's Cup, and I'd like to wish our Rail Riders good luck next year for their quest again for the Governor's Cup. We also had a great senior fair this past Friday at the PNC Field. Lots of flu shots, good food for all of our seniors, lots of vendors, lots of opportunities for them to take care of their health needs. I'd like to thank our staff. They do a great job. It was a great Friday. This Saturday, the 22nd, Lackawanna County is going to be having a fishing derby at Burleson House Park. It's 11 to 1. If you have any questions, that's 963-6764. Also, we're going to be having a Heroes Day, and that's going to be at PNC Field, and that's 11 to 2. So if any of you would like to go up to the PNC, it's going to be in the parking lot of PNC Field. This Sunday, the 23rd, we talked about already, we're going to have the Vietnam Commemorative Penning presentation at 11 a.m. Anyone from 1955 to 1975, the Reading Armed Services, men or women, please come down to the Washington Avenue side of the courthouse. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Yes. Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.